So I've been hearing about this a lot, and I finally decided to make this detailed tutorial about NotebookLM, which is essentially something that is completely generated by AI, and this is by Google. I don't know how the URL works like this, notebooklm.google. It's actually very weird because Google isn't a TLD. .com or a .in could be a TLD. Either ways, something that I'm not investing my head into, but essentially what we can do is we can look at how to use NotebookLM, and I'm going to talk about some of the use cases that you probably not have used or may have not thought of. So let's jump right in. In order to use it, you just need to go to notebooklm.google, and then when I actually open this, it goes to notebooklm.google.com, which is what I kind of expected. So as you can see, I did try some of the chats before. So it's essentially a place for you to maintain your notes per se or chats per se, and everything in here that you will see is generated by AI, except for the external data fetching and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build an insurance chatbot, because most of us have insurance and the documentation for insurance is actually very cumbersome to go through. So I'm going to create a new notebook that will essentially be an insurance chatbot, and I want to ask questions about the chatbot. So let's begin with that. Let's create a new notebook, and then in here you have a couple of options to get your data in. It could be a marketing plan, course reading, research notes, meeting transcripts, and sales documents. So you can get any of the data, and it could be you connecting to Google Drive, Google Slides. You can actually upload links to websites, or you can paste the text, and you can also connect YouTube videos, which is insane. I'm already thinking some of the use cases that I'd like to explore because of this. So for example, we have this product called Ollie.social, and a lot of people want to ask basic questions about how to use the product. Some of the questions can automatically be answered using some of the basic AI chatbots that we built, but a lot of knowledge about their product is also available in, let's say, our YouTube videos, and we'd want to connect those videos as well if possible, right? And maybe this is one of the use cases that I can explore post the insurance use case. But to begin with, let's just go ahead and use the insurance one. So let's go ahead and upload our file. I did download a random copy of insurance from the internet. This is by Star Insurance, which is a local insurance provider in India, and this is the women care insurance because this is the first one I found. So essentially what it did, the moment I uploaded the documentation, it kind of gave me some suggestions with respect to what I can do with this. It created a summary. So it details the Star Women Care Insurance, a health insurance policy that's specifically designed for women and their families. Coverage includes maternity, assisted reproductive treatments, and so on and so forth. So one of the best things and the things that I've heard that NotebookLM can do very well is generate podcasts based on this. So deep dive conversation, 2 hosts, English only, and you can customize this. So essentially what we're going to do is going to click on generate, which is going to take this summary and create a podcast based on this, which is crazy because you have the text generation and sound generation, which is actually very highly realistic based on what I've heard right in the notebook. Now think of a scenario where you're maintaining like a diary of sorts, and let's say you have these multiple chapters in the diary for, let's say, year 2024. You want to document your journey across the year, and you can convert that diary into audio notes and maybe publish it in platforms like YouTube. Either ways, that, and again, there are a bunch of different use cases that you can explore with this. And I'm actually planning to build a detailed course for NotebookLM for people who are interested in exploring what are the kind of things you can do. I'm still to explore the use cases that I need to show in the course, but at this point of time, I think having the very simple overview will do. I'm going to explore again use cases that I can do with this, but yeah, so that's going to take some time. Now it looks like it's going to take a few minutes to generate this, and it says that I don't need to stick around. So I'm just going to ask the questions starting here. I'm going to say, what is this document about? You can see the UI is very similar to most of what you would see on ChatGPT, Claude, and so on. So it's not very different from the other UI, but it definitely has more capabilities like voice generation and so on and so forth. So this is a brochure that kind of talks about the coverage, flexibility, and pre-acceptance, women's health, and so on and so forth. And again, all of these questions that you see here as well are also generated using AI. So this entire platform in a way is kind of powered by large language models. This is why I think it's called NotebookLM. So notebook language model, maybe that was the idea behind this. I'm not 100% certain, but this point seems to be like a lot of this is AI generated. And I'm going to ask a follow-up question. What is the total coverage broken down by people, right? When you ask a question like this, it's essentially going to again go and look into the PDF and then get the question to us. One of the other things that you can also do with this is actually provide more data sources, which can essentially enable you to generate answers that are more contextually relevant. And in order to do that, just click on the plus icon here and then you can connect this. You can actually upload up to 50 sources, which is huge if you're able to just, compress all of the data, put it in one PDF, and then your PDF has a relevant set of data. So I think at this point of time, this is actually more than enough or more than what we need in order to build like a great model. So it did break down and it seems that it's doing a good job. What I would want is to have like a, smaller generation. I mean, this is actually very detailed. I understand this is like a notebook, but is it possible for me to specify certain instructions? So if I just go here and I'm going to say, please ensure the generations are one paragraph only. And then I'm going to insert. So this is now the pasted text here. Again, the conversation is still being generated. It's going to take some time, but either ways, let's go ahead and ask the question now. Can you explain coverage for males under this policy? Remember that we told it to kind of generate one paragraph answer, and it does look like it has reduced the quantity of text, but I don't think it's it's actually listening to the pasted text. You can obviously remove text and rename it, but I'm just looking for a place where I can, essentially just reduce the amount of text. So you actually have the option to do single paragraph generation, but you can also specify this in here, right? So basically you can say, can you explain that in one paragraph and 2 sentences? So basically you will need to do some prompt engineering. What I do like about Claude is that you can actually specify the type of generation you want. You can specify how big or short you want it to be, and then it follows that. I don't have to put that all the time. It just knows that this is what it needs to do for every response. So either ways, let's see what happens when you click on save the note. It essentially pops up somewhere inside of the notebook. So there is the notebook where you connect external data sources, and then inside the notebook it generates notes which you can then shortlist, and it also has citations. Sounds pretty cool, to be honest. And I'm gonna see if I can just look at the audio generated summary now. I'm gonna do test because I don't know how to open that screen anymore, which kind of has the it's actually done at this point. And this is the podcast that it generated, so let's hear it.
Welcome to another deep dive. Today we'll be exploring something a bit different, the Star Women Care Insurance Policy brochure.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So this isn't your typical health insurance. It's designed specifically for women and families in India.
I see. It's a bit more specific for surrogate mothers and oocyte donors.
And we talked about those separate policies for surrogate mothers and oocyte donors. Are those scenarios covered for...
Sick. They're actively...
It's actually very, very good. The generation does sound better than the text generation for some reason. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a new chat now, and I'm going to see if we can play around with Ollie. Also, I realized that if you want to open this thing, then you may want to click here. Maybe not, right? So let's just go ahead, and I'm actually kind of stuck because I think I'll need to edit the URL. So let's remove this and let's go back to home, and this will load the workspace. Does not seem to be like an easy way to come back here. So let's just, I just hope that changes. Let's go ahead and create a new chat. And this time around, we're going to be uploading a website. I'm going to use ollie.social website, and I'm going to take a few videos from my YouTube channel and add the link to those. All right. I'm going to look for some of the videos that have Ollie. So I'm going to copy this one. This link is what I want. Looks like there's an error here. It says the source is empty, which is weird. Either ways, I'm gonna click on the YouTube button here, and I'm gonna add this, and I'm gonna click on this, and I'm gonna see if I can change this. All right, so let's go ahead and click on website again, and I'm gonna copy this link this time around, and I'm gonna paste this because I'm not gonna add www. Which may be causing this error. I'm not 100% certain, but yeah, this pops up as empty as well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually go to Ollie Social, and I'm going to copy the text from the website because it does specify most of the features we want to talk about. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste the content. So there we go. Just inserted the text. and I want to connect a couple of more videos. Going to copy this link. Weird that it calls it OLI and not OLLY. It's probably because it read the data from the YouTube video, and then based on that, it kind of generated the content. So I'm going to actually add a few more videos now. Again, let's just go ahead and add this one video to finalize our approach. Let's paste this here and then let's save it. And then I'm going to click on generate. So it generates a conversation between hosts, and I'm going to start asking questions. What is Ollie? So it does appear to be doing some sort of generation, but it's taking quite some time. AI-powered Chrome extension to enhance social media engagement. It has AI auto commenter, custom panels, virality scores, AI personalities, custom actions, and so on and so forth. It also has multiple pricing options, so that sounds good. It does, talk about the data that we kind of want to hear about, and then let's ask some specific questions to see how it answers those questions. And you can actually see that it's talking about the very specific set of models that we support. These are all the models that we support, by the way, and it looks like it has done a good job here. It actually also specifies where the source is. So it's talking about the transcript here. And let's ask one follow-up question. What are the key stages in Ollie's growth and development? This is coming from the video that we uploaded, so 1200 paid users in 8 months. Let's look at what the output is now. In the meantime, I'm also kind of thinking that I did start with generation of the podcast, so I want to hear out how that sounds. But this journey is actually kind of very interesting because these are exactly the things that I talked about, and it has covered it very, very well. So let's see if I can actually open that chat and I can look at the generation that I did for the voice. I don't know where I can find it, but let's click on this. Yeah, so notebook guide is where you should be clicking in order to open this. It's not very specific. It seems to be generating the conversation, which is going to take some time. So it looks like the podcast is generated. Let's just play it.
Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into something pretty cool?
Always.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking all about Ollie.
Okay.
This AI-powered tool that's kind of shaking things up on social media.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a Chrome extension.
Okay.
And the promises are big. Think crafting human-like comments without you having to do anything.
Whoa.
And knowing what's going to go viral, before you even post it.
Wow.
And even having different AI personalities for different brands.
That's really fascinating, especially right now.
Right.
AI is evolving so fast, especially online. So it really makes you wonder, is Ollie the real deal or is it just hype?
Right. Yeah. Is it going to live up to all the hype?
Exactly.
So we're about to find out.
Okay, let's do it.
To get the full picture, we looked at YouTube videos from Ollie's creator, Yash.
Okay.
And their official website.
Okay, sounds good.
So first things first, let's meet Yash.
Yeah.
What struck me from his videos is that he's kind of like a tech world underdog story.
Oh, really? How so?
Yeah. So he actually started with zero coding experience. His drive came.
So, generation, to be very, very honest, sounds very human-like. And I don't know how it's doing that right now because a lot of tools in the market don't do it. Now, combine this audio generation with an avatar and you have a very real podcast. So I don't know yet 100% of the use cases that you can work with at this point of time with NotebookLM, but chatbots, summarizing research papers, researching YouTube videos, doing your homework, and a bunch of these different things, like for example, talking to insurance papers. So I personally feel that this has a great potential, especially in the audio generation capabilities because it's free and I can just download this at this point, right? If I can just control this generation somehow, then it makes it extremely powerful. You can actually also create a public access link that you can share with people like this, and it will redirect them to the audio directly, in my opinion, I guess, or maybe to the notebook. So now I can share this with my customers who want to know more about Ollie, and this becomes like a place where they can ask questions about the product. So again, a bunch of different use cases that you can potentially explore with this. And as I do more research on the course that I want to build on top of this, I am going to be adding more use cases that will be more specific there. But if there are any interesting use cases, I'll definitely share here as well. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much and have a great rest of the day.